Hey guys, it's Daniel. The following is a quote from Dave Grohl where he talks about what rehearsals with Nirvana were like, specifically prior to the recording of Nevermind at their rehearsal studio near Tacoma. Now, when I say rehearsal studio, it was more like a barn, as Dave Grohl will be explaining in this quote. I made a video previously on Nirvana's old rehearsal space in Aberdeen, which was the rehearsal space above Chris Novosellich's mother's hair salon. If you want to see that video, it's linked below. Here's the Dave Grohl quote. Quote, "Our rehearsal space was a barn-like structure that had been converted into a demo studio, 30 minutes north of Olympia in a suburb of Tacoma. One step above an old damp basement, it had heat and a small PA system, not to mention some rather questionable shag carpeting, so it served our simple needs well. Kurt and I would excitedly make the trek 5 days a week in a Datsun B210 that was somehow gifted to him by an old woman, barely managing to make it up the Interstate 5 without the wheels falling off. One actually did once. Our music was the one thing that took my mind off the shortcomings of this new life I had fallen into, the one thing that made it all worthwhile. Every rehearsal began with a noise jam, which became a sort of improvisational exercise in dynamics, ultimately honing on our collective instinct and making it so that song structure didn't necessarily need to be verbally arranged. It would just happen. Almost the way a flock of blackbirds gracefully ebbs and flows in a hypnotic wave over a country field in the winter. This method was instrumental in the quiet, loud dynamic that we became known for, though we hardly invented it. That credit was due to our heroes, the Pixies, who were hugely influential to us. We had adopted their simple trademark in more than a few of our songs. Tight, simple verses that explode into giant screaming choruses. A sonic juxtaposition with ferocious results, most notably Smells Like Teen Spirit. As the long winter turned into spring, we spent countless hours in that makeshift studio preparing songs for what would become the new album, now known as Nevermind. Unlike the bands I had played in before, Nirvana didn't play shows often for fear of burning out the local audience. So, most of our energy was directed at being ready to record once we finally decided on a label and a producer. Kurt was remarkably prolific, seeming to have a new song idea almost every week, so there was always a feeling of forward motion, never being stuck or stagnant creatively. At night, after he closed his bedroom door, I would hear the quiet strumming of a guitar from his room and would wait to see his light go out from the comfort of my dirty old couch. Every day, I couldn't wait to hear whether he had something new once we arrived at rehearsal and plugged in, whether he was writing music or entries in his now famous journals. His need to create was astonishing, though he was practically secretive about it. His songs would sneak up on you, take you by surprise, and they were never prefaced with, "Hey, I wrote something great." They would just appear.